Good evening. Welcome to Vibin with Ashley Live. I'm your host, Ashley Live. I'm so very excited for my guest this evening. It's episode 241 of my show. Singer, songwriter from Chicago, the one, the only Nathan Chester, who brought soul and cinematic flair to season 25 of NBC's hit show The Voice. His powerful audition of Al Green's Take Me to the River earned him a spot on Teen Legend, and he went on to finish in the top five with a series of standout performances. Nathan blends powerhouse vocals with dynamic stage presence and continues to innovate through Eminem Productions and his duo show Cruise Control. So this man needs no further introduction. I'm going to bring him onto the stage and get this party started. Nathan!
Hey,
How
what?
are you this evening?
I'm good. I'm very humbled. I'm very humbled. That was an incredible intro.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Honestly, I feel like I could go on and on and on and on. You've accomplished so much, and I'm so very excited to bring you on the show. I even said to you off the air how excited I was because full transparency here, season 25, as soon as I saw your blind audition, I was like, I am voting him through. You need to win this show. And I was just so adamant. I was always so excited to see your performances. And that's just from a personal standpoint, just me being a fan of the show, but
Right.
also interviewing multiple people from The Voice. So, yes, I'm saying this publicly.
That's very kind. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for having me. That was an incredible. I'm getting nervous. I'm getting shy.
You're nervous. No, Nathan, I don't feel like you can get nervous.
Okay, I won't. I won't at all.
Wait, so okay, let's start here then. So, right? So you have these electrifying performances for people who have seen you live and on the show The Voice. Do you get nervous when you go on stage?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I get really nervous.
Really?
Yeah, it's not a bad nervous though. It's like a good nervousness, like excited,
Yeah.
like like the adrenaline's rushing and
Yeah.
uh, you feel like I feel like it in my chest and but it's a good thing. It's like, oh, that means I want to perform well, I guess. If
Yeah.
I'm not nervous, then there might be a problem.
Yeah. And I think when you feel nerves, it just makes you feel alive, right? Like because you're going on the stage and you're just like, I'm like excited to just like get it out there.
Yeah, 100%.
Love
100.
that. So I want to talk about this show that you were on called The Voice. So we got to go back to blind audition day. Take Me to the River, Al Green. Saw that performance, electrifying, truly gave me chills. Talk to me about when you were in that blind audition. I know that you had your eyes closed a little bit, but you were working that stage show. What was going on in there?
Um, I was uh I guess right before, actually during the blind audition, during the days leading up to it, I found a really cool rehearsal studio. Uh,
Hmm.
so I started going to the rehearsal studio. I'd never sang this song before. And I was trying to figure out what to do with it. And I heard a guy singing just while we were in the waiting rooms, like, with other contestants. I
Yeah.
heard it. I was like, wow, that guy's incredible. That competition, I need to get his advice. So I asked him to come to the practice room with me and listen to me do my audition.
Hmm.
Uh, he gave me a couple of pointers that one of the things he told me, he was like, yo, it's the blind audition. So don't even worry about like performing per se. Just focus on your voice because that's all the coaches hear.
Yeah.
And rather you execute vocally than entertaining.
Yeah.
Um, so I said, okay, I'm just going to plant my feet. I'm even going to close my eyes, focus on the sound. And he also gave me a vocal note. And it ended that the person is Asher, the guy who won. So
Oh, so for fans of The Voice, okay, so for fans of The Voice that know Asher Havan, who won the winner of this show. So you actually did not know Asher because you were about to do your blind, correct?
yep,
So you met him in that moment when you were going to the rehearsal studio. Now
yep.
that's a story.
Yeah, I like to just give respect where it's due. When I heard him sing, I was like, "Yo, this guy's crazy. This guy's crazy." And then he ended up winning. That checks out. Like
Yeah.
that. But yeah, the song was really fun. I hadn't sang it before, so it was cool to sing that one.
Hmm. Yeah. But also, you took up the pretty much the entire stage during that performance, right? So like they hear the vocals, but then the coaches that did turn around, they're like, "Whoa, he's just like feeling it."
Yeah, I mean, it was also one of those things that was, the first one I kind of blacked out a little bit.
Yeah.
At a certain point, it was just like, this isn't real. This isn't actually happening.
Yeah.
Trying to keep my breath and, the lights and stuff. And then I was just so grateful that John and Dan and Shay turned around.
Yeah.
Because, there's so many incredible, outstanding vocalists that never even hit the stage because of one reason or another.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. It's honestly crazy. Like there's so many talented vocalists. So you never know. You never. So I was just grateful, still grateful, because it's changed a lot of my life. Honestly,
Yeah, yeah. Like, I feel like when you're on a stage, like The Voice, right? You are in the living rooms of people all across the country. They put the video up on YouTube, right? It's worldwide recognition, and I can only imagine what it's like to go from, loving your craft and then being catapulted onto stage and then having love from pretty much all over the world.
yeah. I guess I hadn't really even thought about it like that, but you raised a good point. It's a global show. I hadn't really thought about that. There's a couple times after the show I would get noticed at the airport and
Hmm.
maybe like a busy city. Like, wait, were you the guy? I'm like, okay, so that was cool.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, I'm grateful. It did change my life. It did
yeah.
change.
So you bring such confidence and vintage soul to your performances. Who are your biggest influences and how are you working to bring Motown into today's music?
So I love Wonder,
Mhm.
Stevie Wonder, man. I love the Temptations, the Drifters. There's a lot of, I mean, obviously James Brown. There's a lot of like just artists that live in that soul, Detroit soul sound, most sax sound, and oh man, I I don't know if there's like one or two specific ones, but kind of like in a culmination of like all of them. I try to listen to as much, because I don't want to necessarily um, sound like anybody else.
Mhm.
No, it's nearly impossible to sound as good as some the legends. So I try to listen to them and figure out what a modern soul sound would be.
Mhm.
It's really really tough because finding um, musicians or players or instrumentalists that and producers and people who help bring that vision to life
Mhm.
is not easy. It's not super common. There's been success with people like Leon Bridges or the Sacred Souls or other modern groups, Jalen Ngonde,
Mhm.
um, that even Bruno Mars,
Yeah.
uh, they've been able to tap into that era and that sound so authentic. And I really appreciate that. So I'm hoping to do whatever I can to pay homage to that sound, to the James Browns and the Sam Cooks and stuff like that. I just really don't want that sound to go away, you
Yeah.
know?
Mhm. Yeah, it's such a amazing sound. I mean, we're young here, right? But there's people that were alive during that Motown era, right? And that were able to see those performers in their prime, right? And you're just like, oh my gosh, I wish I could have experienced that.
Yeah, I do. Do you have any favorite like Motown legend?
Do I have any favorite like Motown artists?
Yeah, or like soul artists?
I would say probably Stevie Wonder. I think nobody can touch Stevie. I think he is in a league of his own. I think when we talk about Stevie, everybody that we know and listen to is influenced by him. I mean, the songwriting, just like you hear some of those songs, it's passion. I just love performers like that, right? I mean, I feel like there's so many different performers, but nobody can touch Stevie,
Yeah, you got a good point.
right? Like no one can touch him. And when you listen to those songs and just like I said, we're too young to like actually be like, hey, we had that album and like we listened to it like in middle school. But like for it to be for it to be like on the radio and like living in that era of Motown, right? And just like right? Like it's so cool. And he doesn't even really perform that much anymore. I know that sometimes
Yeah.
he'll pop up in certain situations, he'll pop up at an award show. I believe he did a tour. I think it was last year he did like maybe a 10 city tour.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you remember that, but I have seen some videos circulating online where he'll just pop up somewhere, like in a random
Oh,
venue or like a music store. Yeah, one guy from The Voice. I don't know if you know him. This is a couple seasons before you. Nelson Cade, the
okay.
third. He was performing at a venue, tiny venue. Stevie's there. Someone's like, he's here.
The building. That's
And he's like, oh my God. Because could you imagine if you were performing and all of a sudden someone like taps you and they're like, Nathan,
Stevie Wonder's. Yeah.
you probably just melt into the floor,
Oh yeah.
right?
Oh yeah. Nobody saw that coming. Not even.
Right.
Let me stop. Let me stop.
Yeah. And so it's just like he pops up every now and then, not a lot, but like
Yeah.
when he's there, like, and I've just seen. I actually saw a video of somebody else. I think they were like in a music store and they were playing something and he was just in there. I'm like, wow, that's so awesome,
Yeah, that is cool. The
right?
goat. Yeah. I mean, you got a good point. He is the goat.
He's nobody can touch him, and I just think that music is legendary and timeless. And when you grow up in that music and you study it, right? It's just it's legendary.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Do love me some Stevie Wonder. There's so many. There's so many. Yeah. Stevie. Love Steve.
Yeah.
Hard to choose. Like I got I've got the Sacred Souls now. Uh,
Nice.
yeah, they're probably my favorite current like Motown, Detroit
Yep.
Soul. Um, but far away from Steve. You know Marvin Gaye also though. I mean, now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Man, it's tough.
I know it's so tough to choose one, right? But I think they all bring different elements to it,
Yeah.
right? And it's kind of like if you said to someone today, like, "Hey, who's your favorite R&B singer?" And you're like, "Well, I like Usher, but I like Bruno Mars," and then and then you think of some of the females that are out there, right? Like, I feel like there's room to like everybody, and I think each artist has their own thing, especially even with a show like The Voice. Everybody that goes on a show like The Voice has their own flair, right? Like you're different than Asher, different than Brian, different than all these other people, right? And it's like, and then as fans, we all have our favorites, and we're like, they're all amazing, but they're all totally different,
Right on. Yeah, for
you
sure.
know?
Yeah.
So, speaking about Brian, one thing that stood out to me while watching you on The Voices on season 25 was your friendship with your battle partner, Brian Olsen.
Yeah. Oh boy.
So I just remember watching and I was like, I love this bond that they have between them. So talk to me about the evolution of your friendship.
So we got put together in the battles, and
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I remember thinking I was gonna go home because I had heard Brian sing, and he looked like a seasoned contestant. I was like, this guy, he's about to bring down the house.
Yeah.
And I saw his blind audition, and it was unreal. So I was like, all right, I guess I might be going home. Um, but then getting in the room and working on the song together, I was able to just see how just down to earth and walls down, open heart he is. Um, and that's something I can only respect and admire. And so, and he's also really funny. You know, he's kind of a goofy, silly. He doesn't take himself too seriously, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Um, He loves to joke, loves to goof around. So it was a really good environment, and yeah, we end up um, hanging out a good bit, and we told each other we made a deal if we both. So that was the battle, and we were like, if we both um, get through the playoffs, if we both get through the round, then we were going to, or sorry, the knockouts. Sorry, the knockouts.
Hmm.
Uh, then we were gonna jump in the pool. So when we both made it through, all our clothes on, we pool and which was he's just that kind of goofy. He's got that childlike spirit, but then
Yeah.
stage and he exudes professionalism, and so I got nothing but love and respect for him, and it's cool because I still catch up with him and work in a very real capacity. We're out doing shows on cruises, so that I think it was a blessing to be able to meet him and to
Yeah.
work with him still.
Yeah. I genuinely was like, they look like they're having so much fun together. Like the stuff, okay, so obviously the producers and everybody that puts together the show, they have so much footage of you guys, right? They have to edit all down. But I feel like when they would show you, they would usually show him, and you guys were like laughing and joking. I'm like, that is a genuine friendship. Like, it was so cool to see that evolve and to know that you're still in contact with him and just like two amazing musicians just really like championing one another. Like I love that you guys are still close.
Thanks. Yeah, yeah, that is cool. That is cool. That's another thing I owe to the show. Met a lot of great people. Brian,
Yeah.
uh, definitely being one of them for sure.
Mm-hmm. So then you had a duet during the finale with John Legend.
Oh
Such
yeah,
a standout moment. And for people who watch the show, when you get to the top five, you are able to do a duet with your coach, which I feel like most people that are on The Voice, they're just like, I just want to do a duet with my coach, right? Like they're
yeah.
so like some people that I've had on the show, I don't know if they've said this on the record or off the record, are like, I don't even want to win The Voice. I literally just I want to have these experiences and like if I win, cool, but like I don't need to win the show. Did you feel that way?
100%.
Really?
Yeah, there's a certain point where I think it's probably the healthiest to adopt this Russian roulette mentality of any time could be the last. So enjoy the ride and like don't take it for granted. Um, yeah, 100% what you said. That sentiment uh, is what kept me sane throughout a lot of the process because I
Mhm.
think um, if I'm personally too outcome driven, if I'm personally too set on the end goal, there's so many factors outside of your hands, and I
Yeah.
felt yeah, the odds are not overwhelmingly, but taking it like you said with gratitude, just being like, hey, if I could get, I don't even need to win. If I could, just be a
Yeah.
part or sing with the coach or
Yeah.
utilize the experience. I agree with that
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I think it's, of course, yeah, you all want to go on the show, you all want to win, right? But once you get there and you're able to have this time with your coaches and bond with other, people on the show, I think it's a amazing experience that you have, and only those people on your season truly get that, right? And some of those conversations that were not recorded, or anything like that, those are moments that you're going to take with you forever and ever because you're like,
100%.
yeah, that wasn't a made for TV moment. That was just a me and somebody else moment.
Yeah, it was crazy. So Emily, my fiance Emily and I, 4 days we had a show at the Garden Arena at MGM in Vegas.
Cool.
Um, right before the show, I texted John Legend, and I was just like, "Hey, man, we got appreciate you looking at me, and this is one of the list. Appreciate it." And he's
Yeah.
like, "No problem, man. Break a leg." So it's kind of cool, just the fact that I'm able to
Yeah.
casually, get some kind of positivity and share, even still some kind of like mentorship in some ways.
Yeah.
Um, is wild. And I know a lot of people experience have had very like close and consistent relationships with their coaches
Yeah.
after the show, which is, these coaches are so, I mean, they're mega stars. They're so busy.
Yeah.
They have families. They have everything under the sun you can think about it. They're touring, huge. Everybody in the world knows these people. And so for them to take any time out of their day to give back or try to connect with people who have aspirations of what they're doing, it's just a blessing. It's just really,
Yeah. And that's powerful. I think that speaks so much as to who John is as a person, right? Like he genuinely like gave you that like, hey, break a leg, like thinking about you, like, and you're just like, oh my gosh, like that gives me everything that I need to just go out there and kill it, right?
yeah, yeah, 100.
Like, oh, John Legend, just by the way, well, he just texted me, so
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not gonna, say that I'm always, we're talking all the time. Um, but it's a cool thing. It's a cool thing to have. I'm super grateful for it. And I also love about just kind of taking the experience for what it, there's a, there's actually a producer on the show. I don't know if I can say, but he said something really insightful, before the blind, all in the whole, and he huddled us all together. And he was like, you can see his, he was like, oh, this guy means business.
yeah.
I just wanted to tell you guys, um, you all have done great work preparing for the blind audition. This experience is like a bus. And right now we're all on. And there are going to be stops where people have to bus. Don't be upset. Don't be sad that you're getting off the bus. Just remember you're on the bus and utilize the ride for as long as you can with whatever you can. And, I feel like that's a good metaphor for life.
Yeah.
Not to get cheesy or deep, but that really stuck with
I love that though. I feel like we all can identify with that, right? Because I feel like some people are like, "Oh, we want to win the voice." Or, "Oh, we want this ideal job." And then you get it and you're just like, "Oh, what now?" Right? And it's like you have to enjoy that journey. You have to live in the moment and you have to be present and just be like, "Oh my god, like this is so cool right now." Like I think you just need to stop in your tracks and just be grateful for that moment because that was the journey that you were meant to take.
it. Mhm. Well
I
said.
love that you shared that. I think that's so helpful for people to hear, whether they're in the music industry or just in general. I feel like we all can use that in life because it is about the journey. Like I've told people in the past, if someone gave you your dream job right now, or they gave you a Grammy, would you be grateful for it? I'd be excited, but then I'd be like, okay, you
Hmm.
know.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, I think the journey is so important. Those ups and downs that you have in the journey, right? I feel like there were so many times probably in the show that, it's hard for you, right? Like you're practicing these songs, you're staying up late. Like talk to me about some of the like the difficulties that you encountered like in the show that maybe they didn't show us on camera.
Um, well, right before I left to come out to LA, I got bit by a dog.
Oh
So
my gosh.
you can see right here,
Oh,
it went through there and then right
oh
up here. So
my
this whole side of this
oh my gosh.
this was
That's
this was the night before to go to LA to do the audition.
no way.
Yeah, like 11 p.m. So I went to the hospital and then I ended up getting like 30 something stitches
Hmm.
and my face was swollen. Flew out to LA and they told me, you were in the first round of people we wanted to B-roll with and do some of these things. So we're going to put you on the last round. And the doctor said you should be fine in like 10 days, stitches out. Uh, so we'll give you 10. But if it takes any longer than that, then we may just go in a different.
Oh wow.
So, so
What?
yeah, that was the start of it all. So if you ask other contestants from that season, somebody had a swollen face a few days who had like this nasty, gunk on his face.
Oh
I
my
felt really,
god.
yeah, great about it. I felt not great about it, but
Yeah.
Um, um, it was a good motivator though, because I didn't want that to stop me. So um, trying to think after that, yeah, I mean, I started rambling about dog bite. Um,
I mean, I personally didn't know about that. I think that's crazy. It literally happened the night before.
yeah, the night before.
What? Like,
Yeah.
what are the chances that
What is
that happens? Like, okay, the dog doesn't bite you on your arm,
right, exactly.
right? Like something that you can cover up. It's just like boom, right on my face, and now I'm on TV.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's true. That's true. It worked out though, because after it healed up, um, we were able to practice the songs. They let me stay in LA. Um, so it was really just, you got 90 seconds.
Hmm.
Uh, here are the amount of days you have before you may or may not get a blind audition kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I was just running the song again, and then I met Asher.
Hmm.
You know what? It is difficult. It's difficult in the sense that so you pass the blind round. The next round is 2 weeks after that,
Hmm.
give or take. So you have a new song, and you're going to practice that song right up until the next performance. Every day, it's just that song. Every day, learning staging, and each round gets a little more involved. Uh,
Hmm.
Obviously, they start throwing other people. Now you're singing a duet. Um, and you're singing a little longer cut for the knockout, longer cut offs. There's a little more production involved. Um, so when you get to the live rounds, it's really like every week is a turn for a different song.
Yeah.
Um, that kind of got fast. It was,
Okay.
you know, just felt like that. It can be a lot, but they give you. Luckily, they give us the tools be able to succeed and be able to like have the endurance.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, it's yeah, they do give us, I think, in the time. They really did take good care of us out there. But sometimes turning those songs around can be tough because you're trying to make choices. You're trying to either learn you're getting notes from your coaches and mentors and vocal coaches. So you're also making and trying to take advisement as well. And there's also the process of like submitting the songs that you would want to. That's kind of tough too.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, just what songs are available. Maybe if you have the rights for a song. You,
Hmm.
if you've never heard a song before, that's one of the songs they would like to hear.
Right.
Uh, okay, I'm learning this new song. But these are all it's navigatable. But in the live round, fast. In the live rounds, it's like, oh, oh.
There's just so much going on.
Yeah, they're like costume fitting here, then rehearsal there, then staging there, then vocal lesson, and it's like that every day up into the performance. You get like five,
Hmm.
6 days to really lock it in. Whereas before, you probably 2 weeks, maybe two and a half to lock it in.
Yeah.
And then they start adding songs at the very round. They're like, instead of one, you got two songs.
Yeah.
One of them you're going to be singing with a coach.
Hmm.
Really don't want to mess it up. You really got to
Oh
be.
no, you're right next to John Legend. You're like, oh my gosh, cannot even believe I'm doing this. This is in the moment. Like, yeah, I have to think that when you're in the top five and you're singing with your celebrity coach, like you're just, oh my gosh, this person chose me to be on their team, and now like I'm sharing the stage with them.
Yeah, yeah. And I look back at some of these performances. Oh man, if I just would have that differently, if I just would have sang this differently, it's hard to watch myself back, listen
Yeah,
to, oh, why'd you make that choice? Why'd you
yeah.
what off here? You just um but I'm trying to remove myself from it and just say, you know what, I did it.
You did it. You did it. You did it phenomenal. And I think, right, like as creative people, you can be a perfectionist and say, "Oh my gosh, why did I make that song choice? And why did I do this? And I shouldn't have held a note that long there." And it's just like you did what you did. You had a hell of a good run, right? Like I feel like people who are on that show currently or previously would have loved to be in the top 5, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
And so it's just like, so I want to ask you, I know that sometimes they bring songs to the table that they want you to sing, but were there songs that you wanted to sing that they shut down that you're like, oh my God, I really want to sing this though?
Let me. You know what? So there was one song I wanted to sing. Let's Get It, Marvin Gaye,
Mm-hmm.
and I think they were leaning towards a different. They were leaning towards Donny Hathaway,
Okay.
and I do love the song,
Yeah.
uh, but I really want uh, Let's Get It On,
Right.
and John heard me sing the song, and I think he liked it. Uh, so he suggested, "Hey, why not sing this one?" And I sang that song.
Yeah.
Uh, but if I could go back, I would really have loved to have seen that one.
Yeah.
Uh, I've been singing it for a while, so it feels like it's in my body a little bit.
Yeah. It's just like, it's in your blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, when I look back at your performances, and I'm just saying this from like a fan perspective, I feel like you got killer songs. Like I know sometimes when you go on these shows, and I'm talking about other contestants,
Yeah.
if they choose the wrong song and it doesn't showcase their voice, you're like, great voice, horrible song choice. So
Yeah.
I feel like
Mm.
whether you were a part of the song choices or whether you weren't, I feel like you had a pretty good run of songs.
Yeah, for sure. The team was definitely uh they were incredible. Like
Yeah.
the costume team, wardrobe team, they in conjunction with like the production team, the stage team with some of the ideas and like and how they had different themes and different visuals and the song choices, they really um they did me a lot of justice. Like they did me a lot of favor to try to portray a sound and a feeling and a vibe. And I'm super grateful for that.
Yeah.
And I also really trust I also trust I really trusted them to make a lot of those decisions. And I think they did great. I was just overjoyed. Try a Little Tenderness. I really wanted to sing that one, and they were like, "Absolutely, go ahead."
Yeah.
Uh, there was Take Me to the River. Um, Fooled Around in Love. I really wanted to sing that. They were like, "Yeah, go ahead." So and John was really cool about seeing introducing me to songs that I hadn't thought about singing before, but
Mhm.
now I can't imagine myself not singing them.
Yeah.
He was really cool about that, like "Oh Darling" and Adele "Rolling in the." Oh yeah, of course. Now I'm always gonna want to sing.
Yeah. Because of course they expect you, like people expect you to do the Motown thing, which we love that. Like that's where you thrive. But I think when you go a little bit out of the genre, like Rolling in the Deep, amazing song. But I've heard Adele sing it thousands of times. But I think when you put a male vocalist on it, it just, especially you, right? Like you take that song and you just totally make it your own.
Thanks. And you know what? I was grateful that Brian rocking with me on that song
Yeah.
because his voice is killer.
Oh
And
yeah. I mean, the two of you together, it's just like, oh my gosh, like this pairing, like that you both need to go through.
thanks. I'm glad we did.
I
Lord.
know. I'm glad you did too. And so for people watching that maybe did not watch this season, please go back and watch these performances. They're absolutely phenomenal. They are on YouTube. But both Nathan and his buddy Brian made top 5, and I think it's really cool because right, like your friendship, like you were able to have this long friendship because it's not like you were on the show and then he got voted off like the next day. Like you were able to kind of share these moments and just be like, oh my gosh, we're both going to be in the top 5. But now, like now it's either going to be like you or
Right.
me. It's like Brian, I want you to win, but I also want to win,
Yeah. Yeah. I think
right?
you mentioned kicking me down the stairs at one point. No, I'm kidding.
But I feel like if he said that, it was smiles, it was jokes, like I mean, just
Yeah.
like that dynamic. I feel like there's so much footage that they didn't even air with you guys, just like a friendship compilation kind of thing.
Mm, yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Wait, did you watch your season back? Like, did you actually watch it when it aired?
Yeah.
Like with The Rest of America.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's got to be like very weird to like be like, oh my gosh, that was weird, or they.
Very weird.
It's
Very.
got to be so strange.
I'm such a nerdy, like, I'm just, I mean, I love myself. I love myself, but watching myself back, I can't do it.
You're like, ugh. You're like, it looked this way, but now
Yeah,
that I'm watching it, extra cringe, right?
right. Say that. Why did I say it like that? Why am I looking like that? What's wrong?
I know.
Crazy.
But I feel like most artists are like that though, right? They're like, oh my gosh, like it needs to look a certain way. We need, my hair looked a little weird there. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I just gave that look.
Yep.
So I feel like we're very critical of ourselves just as people, especially when we put ourselves on a platform like this. But it's just like you did what you could, you did amazing, and you just keep doing what you got to do.
Thanks. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
I mean, I'm not a singer. I do this show, but sometimes when I watch the show back, and I'm like, oh, that was like not the thing to say.
Okay. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I'm just like, what? But this is a live and an unedited show, so like if I say something, it's like it's out in the universe. It's I can't take it back.
But, yeah.
Just like when you were on the show.
Right. Exactly. Oh. Ooh.
So you're currently performing on cruise ships with your fiance Emily. Tell us what that's like. How do you balance love, travel, and performing together?
Awesome. Yeah. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm having the time of my life. Getting to travel and sing alongside her. Um, it's incredible. I'm super happy about it. I feel, I feel lucky, and I feel motivated to try to um, do something with this opportunity that we have to, um, make something hopefully bigger than us.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, I'm just super grateful for it. We travel with our show Ebony and Ivory, and yeah, we have our production company, Eminem Productions, but we're transitioning the name Smooth Sailor. Uh,
Okay.
so we're producing as well for cruise ship. So we're singing beside each other, but we're also, buying costumes, buying charts, negotiating contracts, uh, help teaching choreo, review music. We actually have an app that we run a lot of business through to coordinate with our members. We're
Mhm.
recruiting actively singers from The Voice, America's Got Talent, and American Idol, just for a getaway. I say a getaway like it's working,
Yeah.
but to get out on a ship, s- perform 1 or 2 nights, be out there for a week, see the world a bit, and tell your story to people who are sailing around the world. Um, and I'm grateful because platforms are uh, platforms are so they're an incredible thing. I'm like, even this platform, I'm super grateful to be able to tell my story and
Mhm.
try to connect with you or other people who maybe it's a cool thing.
Yeah.
I also, Emily and I want to also try to create a platform on ships in front of people for who are on The Voice to tell their story and also, promote their stuff and get their message out there to other people. Um, and so, yeah, I'm excited about that, and we get to do it together. I'm super excited.
Yeah, I think it's amazing when you do it with your partner in life, right? Because I feel like a lot of people, when they're creative, musician, sometimes like they're the only musician in the relationship, and then the person they're with doesn't really get it. But like she understands what you go through because
Oh
she's
yeah,
also a musician. So you're like, hey, I have a question about this, and then like she's coming from a musician standpoint, not just like somebody who has a corporate job somewhere.
yeah, 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 yeah. And yeah, that's a good point.
You know
That's
what I mean? Like,
yeah,
because sometimes you go to work and you talk to some, like, think about some of your friends that aren't in this business, right? And you try to tell them something, and you're just like, oh my God, he definitely would not understand what I'm talking about. I'm talking to, like, I'm like, another musician would understand it better. Like, your relationship with Brian is different than your relationship with someone from high school, right?
that's true.
Hmm.
That's true. Yeah, it is. That is cool. That is cool. We do. Good point.
Because I feel like, right, like friends that aren't in the same industry as you, they can definitely give you great advice. But I feel like when you have people in the same industry as you and they can say, like, hey, I'm going to be real with you, don't love that. I think you should do this. And then they're just like critiquing you and making you better and like elevating you to a certain way. And so I think it's really important to have friends that are out of the business, but friends in the business, right? Because like you're not in competition with Brian, you're not in competition at Emily. Like they are their own performer. And like you all, this stage is big enough for everybody to win.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Um, it seems like it seems like everybody has a little bit of information.
Yeah.
So friends with a lot of different types of people, you can get that information. And when she's working in the same field, I'm working in this, we can kind of sharpen each other like
Yeah.
that iron sharpens iron kind of thing.
Mhm.
Um, so I love it. I love it. I love it. I talk to her about stuff, about work in a way that she's like, oh, I get it. And there's two sides to it. Like I know sometimes is like, annoyed if me silly or, if we live in tandem and lockstep. Go to work, we're working at the same, we're clocking same time, clocking out, and then we go
Yep.
into that's like our 24/7. So
Yeah.
we find ways to like build in um, our own separate interests because most
Mhm.
of us are together, but we still want to maintain. If I have a TV show I like, or if she has a TV show she likes, um, but I do like I love that I get to talk to her and be improved by her.
Right.
Uh, being in the same field and trying to do it together, kind
Yeah.
of.
Yeah, that's so powerful. It's so important to be in a partnership where you feel elevated and you feel inspired, and that person really takes how you feel about yourself and like elevates it. And you're like, oh my gosh, like I want to be great myself. Like you
Yeah,
make me better though.
yeah. There's a Neo song. He's like, "I'm good all by myself." Wow, you
Yes.
know what I'm talking
Yes,
about?
it's Fab and Neo. Yeah, you
Yeah,
make me better. Yeah. Yeah. And that was a throwback. I
yeah.
haven't heard that song in a minute. So okay, so you told me about Eminem Productions. So are you said you're actively recruiting people from Idol, The Voice, America's Got Talent to join you on cruise ships?
Yes, 100.
Beautiful. And I love how you're like allowing them to tell their story as well, right? Because I feel like some people maybe don't watch The Voice, maybe don't watch Idol or something, and so then they see these amazing performers and it's like, oh, but I did this and I did that, and I think that's really cool.
Right on. Hey, thanks. I appreciate that. It's a really lucky thing. I'm excited about it, and talking to other people who are show, see them getting excited about it. Um, them just being excited also to just travel a bit and um, you know go to some of these places that it's like if I weren't working this job, I wouldn't be traveling as much.
Right.
So it feels like a very good way to get people doing stuff that they want to do. And
Yeah.
the platform as well, like right, like well, at least in my experience, when I was excuse me, when I was like 11, I think I auditioned, or I was 14 when I first auditioned. At that time, I wanted to be the next Bruno Mars. I wanted to be the biggest supernova in the world.
Yeah.
I really want that now, but at
Yeah.
the time, that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
And um, I thought going on the show, going on The Voice, take me from being a 14-year-old from Chicago to the next. In my mind, for some reason, I thought, hey, that's just the natural progression. All I got to do is get on the show.
Yeah.
Then I'm Usher. That's how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I realized from although there is a lot of things that come with it, there are a lot of benefits and momentum, a lot of momentum from the show. Um, I'm not Usher. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like being able to still have a platform after such an incredibly intense experience where you're alongside some of the biggest names in music
Hmm.
to going back to working a desk job, going
Yeah.
back to you know,
Yeah.
uh, whatever it is that you may do, that's not next to Reba Mac. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's such a drastic jump for
Right.
some people, myself included. It's such a drastic jump. My manager now, right after the show, he hits me. I saw you on the show. Uh, Reach out. I want to know if you have management. This is gonna be great. We're gonna get work. You have potential. I was like, great, great, great. Let's do it. It's like
Yeah.
a tour, kind of like, okay, we'll do a little hometown tour. Um, and the place that I booked uh, was well, one of the booked was my high school, and obviously it's good to go back to your roots,
Yeah.
but it's like I was on stage with John Legend,
I know.
and then immediately is I'm going back to something I'm not going to get paid for
Right.
sure.
Yeah.
That's me having come in fourth, you know. And I
Right.
know they're kind of, in my opinion, it's just like it just matters about what who you do. Doesn't you know? Because there's so many incredible performers, and I'm like, oh, there's there this. In any case, it's just it's a. I love that there's a platform for people to talk about whatever they was on Idol, and they keep making these shows, so they're going to be more contestants. They're going
Totally.
to be newer songs, newer things that people are paying attention to, and some people might feel like they just that was their one chance, one experience, and if it doesn't happen in the same way, then maybe they won't have the same platforming opportunities. Grateful for people like no, we're gonna give a platform to people that you were vibing with, that you were like, oh yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah. I
And we want to try to do something similar in a different way. And
love that. No, I love that because I feel like when I talk about like American Idol or The Voice or America's Got Talent, right? So many amazing people. But then, as you said, you're on this show, national stage, on NBC every week, right? Prime time slot. And
right,
then you go back to your hometown and you're doing whatever you do and you're like, this is weird. Like I was on this show for X amount of weeks or months, and then you try to come back to just normal life, and you're like, and then some people, as you know, they drop off, or maybe they just stop doing it, and then some people they take it and they just, you know, they go into a different stratosphere, right? And they're just off to the races, touring worldwide, maybe background vocals for somebody, right? So it's really interesting, and I don't think people see I'm on this show, I'm rocking it. You see me every week on the TV, and then I got to go home.
yeah,
That's weird.
yeah. That yeah. So the shift in adrenaline and the shift in attention is wild. It's like you can feel the gaze moving away,
Yeah.
and in probably a good way. I'm not too crazy about people knowing uh, who I am. I don't mind it. I'm not like get out of here, but I'm like it always makes me nervous because if if my hair is some type of way or
Yeah.
what's in my face, I just woke up from a nap, and if somebody's like, "Wait, I know you," I look great. I wish you didn't.
I wish I didn't look crazy and you knew me. I'm like, wish you didn't see me at this point right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, not,
So,
but
yeah. So, Nathan, I know you're a cheesecake lover. Okay. What are your top two or three favorite spots to get cheesecake? Tell us.
top, top has got to be Cheesecake Beauty. I think they're in Florida. Cheesecake Beauty. The reason why they're my favorite, um, they actually sent me a complimentary box like this.
Oh, I saw that. You have
Yeah,
a video for it.
yeah.
Okay.
And I ate the cheesecake. My fiance and her sisters, well, we all had some of it. It was
Yeah.
incredible. It was incredible. A blueberry cheesecake. There was I don't even understand how some of the stuff they're doing is possible. So cheesecake cutie, uh,
Okay.
that's my number one. Number two, um, now I will say Chrissy Teigen made a great cheesecake. That
Okay. I
was
wasn't sure if you tried it, but I feel like, yeah,
it was
I feel like she did.
yeah, it was really good. But at coming in at number two is gonna be my mom's original.
Okay.
So that's definitely coming in at number two. And the reason why I like cheesecake so much in the first place, a few times when I was younger, we went to Cheesecake Factory. I know as cliche as that can be,
Yeah.
but where my love from cheesecake kind of started. I was like, oh, all of these different cheesecakes. This is the best place.
Yeah.
I love cheese. No, super cliche, but the cheesecake is great. So
Yeah. So Cheesecake Factory is number three.
Cheesecake Factory is number three.
Honestly, you go into Cheesecake Factory, there's like 50 different cheesecakes. I'm like, what? Like, this is crazy. And they're all good. I actually saw something a couple weeks ago. Maybe you saw this as well. They said that they made the cheesecake smaller. And people were like, why is it the same price and it's smaller? Because you go to Cheesecake Factory and it's huge.
Uh, I mean, inflation stuff. I don't know.
I know, because you go there and you're like, this is like a huge slice of cheesecake. And then, like, I haven't been to cheesecake recently, but they shrunk it in size and people are so upset about it.
And I say it ain't so cheap. Well, Cheesecake Factory, if you're watching this, you have 24 months to respond. You can send. We will examine the sizes, and then we will let.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know if you know, I'm not trying to like make you upset or anything, but I saw this the other day and people were mad.
Hope it's not true. We'll have to see. I will have to. We're gonna have
You
to go.
got, I feel like you got to go and like see for yourself now.
Yeah. Hmm.
So I know that you used to live in New York for a short time. Have you ever tried Junior's cheesecake?
Oh, I'm not.
Really?
Pretty good.
So good. Yeah. So Junior's cheesecake. So okay, I'm based in. So for people that don't that are watching, I'm based in New York City. Junior's cheesecake is like up there, and they have a couple locations. So good. When you come to New York, you gotta get it. It's so good. And depending on the supermarkets that you're near, I know sometimes you're in a cruise ship, but some supermarkets have Junior's cheesecake
Oh, okay.
in the freezer section. Depends on like where you live and what supermarkets it's at, but yeah,
Okay.
if you can find it, I know you travel quite a bit, so maybe
Yeah.
I'll send you like the logo and stuff, and then like when you're traveling, be like, oh, I wonder if they have it here.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks. I appreciate that. I'm always on
Yes, so
you.
good. So I want to talk about your single Higher. It's a fresh take on classic soul. It's smooth, it's powerful, it's timeless. Can you walk us like through the story behind that and how it all came together?
Yeah. um. So, I think it was after the knockout round. I advanced through the knockout round, and I got really inspired. I was like, you know what? I need to make some. I'm I'm doing pretty good in the show right now, and I'm proud of what I'm bringing to the table. I got to write some songs. And in that moment, I was feeling just like I was doing well. Like you get a couple of back to wins in life, and you kind of riding a high.
Yeah.
And share that feeling. So I kind of just sat in my room and made the hook for that. And then my guy Reno, who's actually in Nashville, I connected with him after the show, and he was able to help finish the production and try to help mix and master it as best we could. Uh,
Hmm.
it was meant to be part of a EP called August that I was,
Hmm.
but at the time I was wearing so many hats. I guess I'm still wearing, um, and it's just kind of been set to the side for a little bit.
Right.
Um, So, but that song is an attempt to try to bring some kind of soul, some kind of soul sound.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and it's just really about like when you're feeling like you're on top of the world, and you're feeling like you can do anything. That's kind of the root of that for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. I think it's so you. Like it's great. It's modern day soul, and I when I heard it, I was like, this is so good.
Right on, thanks. I may try to make a remastered version, um, and eventually there are a couple of songs I want to release. I get the right production behind it to release it. I want to do it justice.
Right.
I want to put out something that is what I'm envisioning. And sometimes I will do that because I am a big of letting your go and letting other people experience it and don't hoard because of insecurity or things. And I've done that so much,
Yeah.
but um, I'm trying to work on just being, letting it, let it go. Not sorry, not let it go, but get it how you want it.
Right, that perfectionism in you, and it's just like, oh my gosh, it needs to be this. Because I feel like, right, you can listen to it and let's do it and let's do it, and you're like, oh my gosh, it needs to be this way. It needs to be this way, right? But it's like, just your best attempt. And because I know that like some artists, and I can't think of them off the top of my head, sometimes some of the best songs that we've ever heard happened in one take. Because right, like usually, even they say that with pictures. Oh, the first photo you take is the best. It actually kind of is. And then you take 14 and then you're like, oh my God, these all suck. Oh, but the first one came out good,
Yeah,
you know?
that's a good point.
Yeah. So do you think the songs that you're going to release will be some of the songs that you did on the show?
Um, uh, I did think about doing one of the songs. Um, the other songs will be originals.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I did think about doing one of the songs. I thought about recording full and fell in love. Um, and I know we don't have too much longer. I know we got a few minutes, but uh, I love that song so much. Elvin Bishop, he's just such an artist, great vocalist. Um, yeah, it's just man, it's a great song. Uh, I may end up recording that one, but the other ones probably be original.
Yeah. I'm just going to tell you right now, the songs that you sung on the show, so good. And sometimes when people are like, I love that version of this song that you did in the show, people are like, yep, okay, I'm just going to record it just because they have been fan favorites. And there, I don't know if you know, there's like a compilation of like the best of Nathan Chester on YouTube. So there's there's a compilation video here on YouTube and it literally shows like snippets of all the songs that you've done. And I'm like,
Huh.
he had a crazy run of like amazing songs.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, YouTube is a beast.
Yeah, all right. Come on, YouTube, showing love. That's awesome.
I'm just saying, definitely do the originals, but you should consider. I mean, you had such a great run, and so many of those songs are just legendary songs that, like, with your modern day twist on it, just really like when I was listening to like, okay, so when I did some of the promotion for this, usually what I'll do is I'll put a song to like the backing of like the story. And I was like, oh my gosh, like he doesn't have any of those like songs from The Voice that he did. So I saw Higher, I found it, but I was like, oh my God, we could have done like, you know what I mean? Because then it's already like it's in Instagram and people can use that music to their story.
Mm-hmm.
So just giving you a little like, hey, because then it's out there.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely originals, but definitely some of the songs from the show.
Okay. Okay, noted.
So Nathan, we're like almost at time here. Um, can you tell the beautiful people that are watching right now where to find you, where to support you? Plug everything.
Yeah, absolutely. NathanChesterMusic.com. That's where you want to go. NathanChesterMusic.com. Trying to give away tickets for things. So I was at a Chicago Fire game and we had some tickets that we were able to. So if you're on Instagram or Facebook, every once in a while, tune into the stories because there'll be random ticket giveaways.
Yeah.
But to get a ticket, no matter what, or to be entered to considered for random come up for different events, sporting events, stuff like that, you want to go to chestermusic.com and join the movement. Ask for like your email or something like that. But then you're in our database, and then when there is some kind of ticket giveaway, we can just send it to people who are already part of the Old Souls movement.
Yeah.
I'm also on cruise ships all the time. So if you're looking if you're looking to jump on a cruise ship, Princess Cruises prime, but we work with the Carnival. But if you're on Princess, reach out. We might work together on my website as well. I have show dates. So coming up in Bardstown, Kentucky on the 25th, Wisconsin Elkhorn, Wisconsin, on July 13th at Rib Fest, not a ticketed event. So Wisconsin, word, come hang out. We're also going to do the Villages in August, I think August 9th, Florida. It's all on the website though, so you can RSVP, you can see ticketed, you can see which ones are free, and then you can come on and hang out with us.
Yes, yes, guys, check his website. Go see Nathan. Book a cruise and go hang out with him for a little bit. I feel like you're always on the cruise ship.
I am always on the cruise ship. That's true.
Yeah, so go on the cruise ship and have a fun time with Nathan and Emily. Nathan, I'm so very grateful for this. This was such a fun interview. Guys, if you don't already, I am Ashley Live. This is Vibe with Ashley Live. Make sure to like this video, subscribe. I interview amazing artists like Nathan all the time, but please give Nathan a follow. Go on a fun cruise. You deserve a vacation. So just go away for a little bit, turn your phone off. And thank you guys so much for rocking with us. Have a great night. And Nathan, thank you once again.
Hey, you got it. Thank you.
Bye. Good night.